how do you see this shift towards a more military approach will affect the region and also will affect foreign policy?
We may collect 2 to 3 questions at a time.
Hi, I'm Willie, and in particular, I have a question towards Peter and from Thailand. But I was thinking, like, in terms of the American politics, about like what policy measures can Asian countries, like particularly Thailand, implement to prevent like businesses from using their location to circumvent tariffs intended from like Chinese origin products.
One more there.
Thank you so much, by the way, for the panel. My question is to perhaps Peter and to Fatima as well. We're seeing with the re-election of Trump, perhaps the global perspective on the current American election result may not be as favorable as whatever the American population has chosen for itself. Does that bend for countries, and I'm thinking India in particular, which is also, you know, like you were mentioning, perhaps electorally autocratic or authoritarian, does that sort of open up a vacuum on the global level of what the US's perception is now in terms of how it stands as a democracy and its foreign policy going forward? Does that maybe open up a space for other aspirational countries from other parts of Asia? How might they leverage that, and is it even possible for them to leverage that? Is that now an opportunity?
3 great questions.
So let me take, how are we going to divide this? Maybe I take 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I can, but I don't want to monopolize. I'm not autocratic. I don't go to retreats. But I'll take 1 and 2, and maybe you can take the third one, if you can share. I feel like security-led world, the tension will go up, but the situation or the experience of Thailand of lost decade in the past 10 years after the military coup, it explains that, you know, just because you have uniformity of the way you think, you lose our creativity and innovation. And whether, you know, if you have army as morale police, hoping that the corruption will go down, if you have this kind of domination of ideas, it's just not the case if you look at the corruption perception index. So I think that's something that Indonesia can learn from Thailand, that it's about inclusion, about diversity, so trial and error, and that's how you come up with creativity and innovation rather than uniformity of things. So the second question is about, you were trying to explain like how Chinese companies are already investing in Mexico and Southeast Asia to avoid what Trump is about to do.
Yeah, kind of like, and a lot of them are already like positioned themselves in Thailand, and they have like businesses there, and then they ship like from Thailand. Sometimes like they can go like have different tariffs from that instances.
So that could be an opportunity that you capitalize, and not just a sweatshop for China, but the way you think about transfer of technology so that Thailand can really participate. Fatima was talking about EV, for example. So 100 EVs that is being produced in China, only 40 is within China, in the Chinese market. 60% is outside. So even if it was Biden administration, they have that kind of tariff. Europe had that kind of tariff. Thailand, there's nothing like that. There's no gate-tailing. So a lot of EVs entered into Thai market, which is fine. Only that Thailand was a Detroit of Asia, and we have ICE industry that is in place, and about 1 million people is being employed in that automotive sector. So it's that kind of question that if, because of Trump presidency and the fossil fuel agenda that he has, then it's very much giving global dominance of EVs with the Chinese or not. That becomes another issue that we have to think about. That if that really happens, how do you balance or find the cadence, find the rhythm of obviously trying to electrify transportation, but at the same time making sure that the existing infrastructure that's been there for many, many years, as well as employment,